Welcome, friends. So if you've clicked on the link for this video, you are probably a bride trying to decide what company to use for your bridesmaids dresses. So I have a really unique perspective because I am in 3 weddings this year, and all 3 brides have chosen a different company to go with. So I'm going to share with you my knowledge, my experience, my opinions on all these different companies. So specifically, we are looking at Birdy Gray, David's Bridal, and Revelry in no particular order. Those just happen to be the order in which I will be wearing the dresses from these different companies. So I will be breaking them down on these different criteria: the cost, the number of options, style, quality, convenience, customer service, and then I'm going to throw in a couple pros and cons that I think you should know about each company. So let's start with cost, a very important factor. Birdy Gray is the cheapest, coming in at $99. Revelry, the most expensive, at $189. David's Bridal, there's a range. So I said it's about $160 on average. I've bought a few different dresses from David's Bridal for different weddings, and they're usually coming in that $160 range. So that's kind of a safe bet there. One thing to also consider is that Birdy Gray, David's Bridal, they do free swatches. David's Bridal does free try on, whereas Revelry actually charges folks to try on the dresses. So it is $10 per dress to try on. They will send you the dress in the style and the size that you want, not necessarily the color. And then you have 3 days to try the dress on and send it back. So that's not a super expensive option. If everyone's together and maybe the same sizes, you can throw a couple of dresses and do a little party. But if people are spread out, you're paying $10 per dress to try on. So it does get a little pricey. They also charge for swatches. It's only $3 for a cart of swatches, but figured I'd throw that in there when we're talking about cost. Birdy Gray technically does not have a try-on option, but I do know that folks often buy a few dresses and then return the ones that they don't plan to use. That is not an option with Revelry because all the dresses are made to order. So you need to do the try-on, find the right dress, find the right size, and then the dress that you get is final order. So the winner here is very clearly Birdy Gray with $100 and the free swatches. 2 things to throw in terms of cost is that, well, actually I already mentioned that the charge for trying on swatches with Revelry, but a pro for David's Bridal, if you have folks in your bridal party who are going to be postpartum or even during pregnancy, they will rush alterations for free. Usually there's an upcharge for rushed alterations, but with David's Bridal, they'll do that for free, which I think is a kind thing to do. I'm speaking from experience here. So when it comes to the number of options, David's Bridal hands down has the most options. Go to the website, you will be inundated with a lot of options. In fact, if you ask me, it's too many. Revelry, while they don't have as many options as David's Bridal, I want to note that I think that they have a lot more options in terms of things that you will actually use, if that makes sense. They also have more options in the not tulle, mesh, or chiffon categories. I feel like tulle, mesh, chiffon are the most common bridesmaids dress fabrics. Revelry does a great job at really doing their velvet, as well as the satin ones. This picture is from Revelry. Birdy Gray, not that many options, but it actually could be a great way to go if decision fatigue is a thing, right? You just makes it a little bit easier. So the winner for options is David's Bridal with the honorable mention of Revelry. Another thing to throw in terms of Birdy Gray is that you don't have the option to buy extra fabric. So that, if someone wanted to add a sleeve or something like that, you can't do that with Birdy Gray. So something to keep in mind there. For style and quality, this one is a little more subjective, of course, but I really loved the dress that I tried on from Revelry. All of them felt like a really great fabric, and it honestly didn't look to me like a bridesmaid's dress. Full disclaimer, both of the Birdy Gray and David's Bridal dress that I have are in that chiffon fabric, so maybe that just says bridesmaid more than other ones, whereas my Revelry dress is in velvet. So something to keep in mind there. I think Revelry has the best quality dresses, although I do give an honorable mention to Birdy Gray because I was really surprised at the quality considering the cost. When I saw it was $100, I was thinking to myself, like, these are going to be cheap, but they're not. They were actually, double lined. They had pockets. You had an option for a slit or not slit. So I was surprised at how well, considering the price, that the quality of that dress there. So let's take a look at the convenience, looking at how easy it is to do the try on. I've already mentioned about the Revelry home try on process. David's Bridal, super easy to do try on. You go into the store, try them on. That's great. Birdy Gray doesn't really have a try on option. If you're going to do it, then you're buying a few dresses and possibly returning them, which is not fun. So something to keep in mind there. And then availability of dresses is something I wanted to touch on. So Birdy Gray and David's Bridal both have some dresses ready right now. So if you strike it well, you might be able to get your dress in your size and color. It might be in stock right now, especially if it's a really trendy one, like Sage is very popular right now. So they might keep a bunch of those on stock. Revelry does not have that option. They make everything to order. So you're definitely, no matter what, you will be waiting on the timeline. Although it is really nice to have a really clear production timeline. If you're looking at these pictures, by the way, this one is David's Bridal and this one is Birdy Gray. So winner for convenience is David's Bridal. Last component I want to touch on is customer service. I actually had a really unique experience where my dress from Birdy Gray and my home try-on from Revelry, they both got stolen. Separate days, but they were both stolen. We've just been having a lot of package theft in the area. And so I got to interact with their customer service. Birdy Gray, I called them up. I told them the situation. I told them I looked around and, asked the neighbors, all that stuff. They just sent me a new dress and, said that sucks. Here you go. With Revelry, it was a very long process. It was like 3.5 weeks, which is tough because, again, it takes them a long time to even make the dresses and things like that. So I also just thought the Birdy Gray folks were a lot friendlier than the Revelry folks. So with that, I give a winner badge here to Birdy Gray for their great customer service. A couple other pros and cons that I haven't mentioned. Birdy Gray has color matched robes and PJs. So if you really want the specific dress color with the PJs and robes for getting ready pictures, they have the exact match there. One of my favorite things about Revelry is that you can buy a petite length. So when I get my dress, I'm not even going to have to alter it to make it shorter, which, by the way, is a money saver. In fact, one of my dresses for David's Bridal, it actually had 3 layers, which happens a lot with chiffon because there are linings. It was going to cost, I think, $75 or $100, something like that, just for the shortening part, not any alterations. So that's a big savings if you think about the cost there. So with that, if you're looking at how do I choose between these different companies, here's my go-to. Birdy Gray is the best option if you have a cost-conscious bridal party, or you just want to cut the clutter, you want to do fewer decisions, go with Birdy Gray. It's a solid option. David's Bridal is great if you really like that brick and mortar experience, or if you just want as many options as possible, a lot of mix and matching, things like that. Or if you want like a very specific look, David's Bridal might be more likely to deliver because they have so many options. Revelry, I think, is the best if you are going to use silk, sequins, velvet. Yes, the other ones have some of those options there. Actually, Birdy Gray does not have velvet or sequins from what I know. But the Revelry options it's not an afterthought. It really is a core part of their design. And then again, Revelry does have some great quality dresses that I know my dress I'll be using again. So with that, my last piece of advice here is that it can be really overwhelming making all the decisions that you're making, feeling like the world is resting on every single decision that you're making. Make the decision. Love it. Everyone's going to look gorgeous. You're going to have fun. It's going to be a great day. Don't stress too much about it. You have the information that you need. I say, make a decision, execute, stick with it, and just move on with your life and the rest of your wedding planning. So with that, y'all, thank you for watching and being here.